As you're coming in, go ahead and share, tag, and invite, and get ready for how I Help Me Fellowship, where we're building global champions for the kingdom. Guess what? We're on a challenge. We're on day 5 of our It's About Me challenge, and help is available. That's healing every living person. Well, I'm Dr. Patricia James, and I am the world only helpologist. And tonight we'll be in our School of Helpology with our healthcare solution. Do you have a problem that needs solving? How may I help you? So welcome. Just come on in the room. I don't plan to be here long tonight. I just want to talk to you on our day 5. And God dropped in my spirit on day 5. 5 is the number of grace and favor. And just know that He has given you this unmerited favor to accomplish your dreams, your vision, and your goals. So when you're saying it's about me, today, all day, I want you to think about that I'm walking in this supernatural favor. So it's about me, July challenge. We're on day 5. Healthcare solutions with DrPat. And guess what? I'm the world only helpologist. So are you ready, really ready to help yourself in this month of July? It really is okay. Let me lean in. It's okay to take care of you. It's okay to say it's about me. So I'm inviting you to join in to our conversation every night on this journey. It's about me. So I'm coming live to provide help for me and offer help for you. This is going to be authentic with 100% transparency so that you can walk away unapologetically into your kingdom assignment, whether it's in life, in business, or ministry. So on day 5, I just want to talk to you about waking up. Make that decision. The first 7 days of this goes along with our 7 day for the prayer. And they did the prayer today and was making the decision. And that decision was a desire to seek God. So we all should have that passionate desire. So I want to come in to make that decision. Make that decision tonight to wake up. Come on, you got to wake up because it's through our win strategy. And the first part is for you to wake up. Too many of us been sleeping on our gifts, sleeping on our talents, sleeping on our God-given kingdom assignment. So we've been talking about decision. So you have to make a decision to wake up. So most people find deliberate change to be what? A difficult process. So many well-intended people have changed. They want to make it in their lives, but they get stuck. And I want to help you to get stuck. Come on, said Dr. Pat, help me get unstuck tonight. Get unstuck from repeating that same change cycle. I don't know about you, but I done been on that roller coaster before. But tonight we want to identify some areas in that change, in that cycle that we want to break. And then we're going to give you 6 of places where you may get stuck at in that cycle of saying that I can't change. And then we're going to come and give you 2 methods in which we can break. Come on, say break. Got to break every chain so you can break those cycles. So the first one, where I want to encourage you to wake up. Come on, you got to wake up now. You got to wake up and identify. See, to thine own self be true. So you got to lean in and be real about want and needing help, real about it's about me, and identifying where am I in this vicious cycle. So the first area, where are you stuck at? So wake up. Every time we talk, say one, if one on resonating with you, I want you to say, wake up. So the first one being discontent. So you grow increasingly unhappy and discontent with an area in your life. You hang in there, you tolerate, you ignore, you repress, or otherwise you deal with the circumstance because it's comfortable and familiar, and you fear change. Come Come on, I want you to wake up. Come on, get up out of that cycle. I want you to get out of that cycle where you just content or staying in that place where you are, and you just continue to go into that cycle. You continue because you say, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to step outside of my box. I'm afraid. But today, I want you to wake up. Come on, say it's about me. Dr. Pat, help me. Help me wake up. That number the two area in which you may be stuck in that cycle is at a breaking point. Are you at the breaking point? Eventually, if you stay in a place of being discontent, that level of that discontent continue to build high enough that you cannot take it anymore. And you reach a breaking point, either through exhaustion or through a dramatic event occurring that trigger that break. Come on, say, wake up, because there won't be no breakdowns. Make that decision to wake up. That I'm not going to be discontent. I'm not going to continue to stay in a place where I'm not celebrated. You know, it said you got to go where you celebrate it and not tolerate it. Because in that place that you continue to be in that level of discontentment, you're uncomfortable and you have this fear. And then it'll get you to the place that'll pull you out of character, and it'll bring you to that second vicious cycle, is that breaking point where you saying enough is enough. And it triggers something, and it could pull you out of character. So wake up. So that third area and this vicious change cycle is decision. So we're saying you make that decision to wake up, to seek God for everything, but that decision is your open door to reality. So you're already saying, I've decided I'm ready to change, and that you declare that you will no longer tolerate the undesirable situation where you've been discontent. You've been to that breaking point. So what you do, you take, come on, say, Dr. Pat, help me. I'm in the decision process, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm declaring that's enough. I'm not going to break, and I'm going to take the first step. Come on, are you ready to take that first step toward change? And it's giving you a short-lived sense of hope. But you got to stay, you got to create habits. Don't just make the decision, you got to act upon it. Because you remember those 5 C's we started with, those 5 C's in the heart-to-heart model for success, and where you got to be committed. You got to commit to the process of that decision that you made. And then you got to realize that you are the conductor. You're in charge of you. It's about you. And then you get to the place that, well, I have identified some areas that I need help in. And so that's when I'm stepping out and say, I need a courier. I need a guide by my side. And then you get confident. You walk in that confidence of the goals that you have established, that decision that you have made. And then you can go through and be that champion. But another area that you may get stuck in. Come on, say, Dr. Pat, get me unstuck. See, because when I talk to you, I'm talking about myself. So you're discontented. You got that breaking point. You're making that decision. Then here comes fear. And that fear is false evidence appearing real. So usually shortly or immediately after your feeling of empowerment, you encounter your fear. See, we're in day 5. And so we get all excited. We're on the change. But then all of a sudden, fear gonna creep in. Am I going to be able to accomplish my goals? Am I going to be able to continue to do my 10,000 steps, drink my water, do everything? You cannot allow fear to have preeminence when the word of God says he did not give you the spirit of fear, but of a power, love, and a sound mind. So usually it happens shortly. You have that adrenaline rush. And that's why, the middle one of the 5 C's is the courier. That's why it's so important to have a guide by the side, to have a coach, have a mentor, have someone that's going to help keep you accountable, have someone that's going to be your cheerleader, or motivating you, to encourage you and telling you, yeah, you can do this. Don't you stop. Come on, get out of this place called stuck And Dr. Pat, the helpologist, is saying, wake up because it's about you. And after you're feeling the empowerment, you encounter fear. Yes, fear can take you out. Let me tell you about where fear had gotten me in driving. And I tell this story is where when I was learning to drive, I had my driver license, and I got in the car, and I was probably was a teenager in my early 20s, and I was backing up, and my brother was behind me. And so because I thought I had literally just run over him, even though I got out of the car and I could see he was okay, but fear had just taken a hold of me. Fear had just came into my life so strong that I would buy a car, y'all, and my sisters would have to drive me around. That fear, even though my brother was okay, but I had that fear. And then let me tell you what happened is that fear caused me to be stuck in a box of limitation. That fear would only allow me to drive in a certain area. It wouldn't allow me to drive as far as Mobile, where I live now. I could drive to Jackson. I could drive to Chatham, just right in that little surrounding areas. But it kept me in that box. And fear would do that to you, that false evidence appearing real, because I had contemplated in my mind that I had run over my brother, and I could not get on the highway and drive. And so what that fear would do, you become uncomfortable. You become anxious about the idea of changing. You doubt your decision. Both options look bleak. You feel helpless. You feel empty. But let me tell you what happened. I never forget what broke. See, because you had to get in that place. You got to step outside of that box. It has to be something that's so greater on this side than it was on that side. I never forget my grandmother lived in Tallahassee, and she got sick. And so she had 14 children, I believe. So all of them took different turns going and seeing about her. So my mom, I said, well, I'll get off from my job and I would drive you there. Now, listen, that fear of someone wouldn't even drive to Mobile 60 miles from Chatham, stayed in that little parameter in that box, wouldn't even leap out. But because there was a situation that was greater, there was a greater need, I took the leap of faith. Not only drove through Mobile, but drove for 4 or 5 hours to take my mom to see her mom. And then it let me know, Trisha, you can do it. That was fear. That was false evidence appearing real. And once that broke inside of me, come on, say, wake up. You got to wake up, get out of that cycle. Once that woke me up inside, it allowed my territory to be enlarged. It allowed that my whole exposure of what I could do, what I can go and can have, and all of the different places I started traveling. I started even going on missionary trip, because that certain area in that change cycle, you got to make a decision that I'm going to wake up and it stopped now. I'm going to not be stuck anymore, because it had me stuck. But once it broke, once I made a decision and I had faith, I grabbed hold to some faith because there was a desire to seek God, desire to do the things of God, desire to do that for my mom. Then it broke. It showed me that, Trisha, you place yourself in that box, because that was a false evidence appearing real. There was a false limitation, a false barrier I had placed all around me, and it kept me stuck. And so with me taking that leap, come on, I want somebody to wake up tonight and take that leap. It's about you, and you got to get out of yourself. Sometimes we hold our own selves captive. We hold our own selves into that box, into that barrier. And so tonight I want you to get unstuck, and I want you to wake up. Yes, that fear. And so the fifth area that you may be in that cycle. See, we want to break all these cycles. It's amnesia. That means with selective memory. So the fear of change, because you got to make a decision that I want to change. And you want to come on to changing that mindset. And you saying it's about me. And if I'm going to do great exploits for the kingdom, then I got to get out of this vicious cycle because I'm doing everything contrary to the word of God. So that amnesia with selected memory, the fear of change, it started growing stronger. And so what happened is that it makes the original situation look much better than you originally thought. You perceive that the original situation as less anxiety producing than the change. You're used to it. It's comfortable. It's familiar. So you resist letting go. Come on, say let go and let God. You temporarily forget why you wanted to change so badly. Let me, I told you I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be unapologetically me. And so some of the areas when I had to wake up and be who God have called me to be. I had to learn how to what? Do it afraid. And so I want to tell you today, as you're making that decision to wake up, you got to come on. You got to get up out of that place called stuck and wake up and declare it's about me. Because when you're sleeping, you're laying dormant. You're in a state of where it's rigid, where it's comfortable, it's familiar, and you're kind of like paralyzed and with atrophy because there's no movement. But I need you to wake up and see, because I want you to remember why you want to do what you do. Remember, ask God to remind me of his saying. And see, and then you start having selected memory. You forgot why you said, this vision I got that God has given me, then you don't put the vision in a box. When he says that you serve a big God. And so you got to believe in a big God. The vision didn't change. The dream didn't change. The prophecy didn't change, but you don't start having amnesia, selective memory, whereas you're going to keep yourself stuck because of that fear. And you go back to that familiarity, go back into that comfort zone. So I'll tell you, being off a job, where I was working, making six figures, do you think that's comfortable? But I had to make that leap of faith because I said I made the decision. I'm going to desire to seek God. And he said, Tricia, if you delight thyself in the Lord, then I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. And so you can't get stuck in that cycle where I got selected memory, that I done gone back to my place, that familiar place. How many of you have had relationship? You know that relationship wasn't good for you, but you say, well, it's familiar. It's comfortable. I know at least what I had. No, and you know it wasn't good for you. Come on out of Lola Bar. You think about Ruth and Naomi and Oprah when they were at that crossroad. And so there was a decision that they had to make. In essence, I said somebody had to wake up and say, I'm going forward. I'm not going to go back. Come on, say, I'm woke and I'm not going back. You cannot take me back. I do not have amnesia. I do not have this selective memory where I'm going to go back to what's comfortable. I'm going to go back to Lola Bar. I'm going to go back to Moab. I'm going to go back to that paganistic society. No. There's bread in the house. And I'm moving forward. Come on, say move forward. So you got to wake up and start resisting letting go. So a lot of time we're saying that we won't help, but you won't help yourself. You won't let go of those things. So you won't let go of some people, some situation, some of those habits, and this chain cycle. You go back and you pull another link back in that you get one thing solved and you said, no, I'm going back into what's familiar with me. I'm going to go back into discontent. I'm going to go back, and then it started getting frustrated. I'm at the breaking point. And then you start this vicious cycle over and over again. And then number 6 area in this cycle is backtracking. Stuck. You're stuck. So most people choose to go back. Come on. Can y'all declare, I'm not going back no more. No, don't go back. Go back to stick with the item they wish to change. You essentially talk yourself. See, that's what you got to start getting the word of God in you. You got to start getting you some affirmation and start talking to yourself about your vision, your dream. But you get in that place in that this part of that change cycle, you start trying to talk yourself. You start to backtrack. And then that way you are really, really stuck. So which method do you want to use? Wake up. Do you want to break this cycle? Wake up. So as you start a transformation of mind shift, there's an awakening that needs to take place in your subconsciousness from a limiting mindset to a growth mindset. So this is the place where the healing begins on this journey. The healing begins for you becoming the best version of you. Come on, say it's about me. And I am woke. Yes. So these two methods, I need you to choose one. So the first one is self-honesty. And I always say, because we're doing self-care, to thine own self be true. You got to look at your own situation. You got to do a self-evaluation, self-assessment to see where you are. Am I continue to going through this cycle over and over and over? I'm making all these excuses. And I call an excuse is just an excuse is a disguised lie. It's a lie in disguise because you continue running back to that excuse. So you have the humbling experience of realizing that there's a part of you that doesn't really want to change. See, you have to say, you have to get to that place and you're going to be honest. Come on, wake up. Have you made that decision? I want you to wake up. Stay woke in here. Don't you dare sleep on me. Do not sleep on yourself. Wake up. And you got to be honest with yourself and say to thine own self be true. And then you got to realize, see, I had to get up and I said, Trisha, I want to change. And I'm allowed the change to start with me. And so you are comfortable with your habits, with what you know. Yeah, some people stay right in there, but I got in the place in July. I said, it's time and I'm going to help me. And I pray that something that I do or say will help you so you can understand that help is available. You have a lot of fear that hold you back. You may have many self-limiting beliefs. You receive some sort of benefit from staying, being stuck where you are. You're unhappy because you want to be happy. Come on, you got to be true to yourself. We're talking about we want to break this vicious cycle so that you can move forward. You done made a decision to change and that you're going to get woke up. So you are addicted. Sometimes you get addicted to your situation, to your fear, to your indecisiveness. You believe your pain is you. Come on now. It's your story. You can see your resistance to letting go. Come on. What do you need to let go? Let it go. To thine own self be true. There are some things, whether with your health, with your wealth, with your finances, whether it's in ministry, whether it's on your job, to thine own self be true. In order to accomplish your vision, your goals, or your God-given kingdom assignment, you got to be honest. In order to break this cycle, we're saying you got to wake up. You done made that decision to change, and now you got to wake up and get up. Get out of being stuck. Only after reaching this level of self-honesty can you truly choose to change. You got to get up and look in the mirror at yourself. There shouldn't have to be somebody else pointing out your deficiency. To thine own self be true. So you can identify your strengths. I come from the corporate world. We do a SWOT analysis. And in the corporate setting, we do a SWOT analysis on every area, every facet of the business. So I want you to do a SWOT analysis on you. And you might be saying, well, Dr. Jane, what is a SWOT analysis? That's where you're going to identify your strengths. I want you to make you a chart. That S is strengths. List out all of your strengths. Then that W is your weaknesses. List out those areas that you're weak in. And then that Z is that opportunity. What opportunities are available? And then that T, what is the threat? What is imminent danger right now that you need to take care of? And then start looking at it and see where I want to build upon my strengths. These are areas I'm weak in, and I want to move them into my strength. So you got to be true to yourself. And then this will help you to break that cycle, that vicious cycle, and that's called stuck. You're not going anywhere. You're in the same place that you were in 5 years ago. You've been talking about it. You've been writing about it. You've been saying about it, but it's time for you to be about it. You know, when I talk to you, I talk to myself. We're going to be about it. And so that's where help is available. That's why I say I'm DrPat. I am the helpologist, the only one in the world of this kind. And God has allowed me to, we're going to launch our Help Me Fellowship. It's going to be an international helping and honoring empowered leaders who passionately pursue their purpose with a ministry of excellent fellowship. So that if you're in that vicious cycle and you need help, or you need one of the C's, you need that courier, we want to be there to be your guide by the side. So if we're gonna, okay, there's 2 ways that we can break this cycle. The first one is where you're gonna take a good look at yourself, do some self-identification, evaluation to see an area, and then make a SMART goal where you're specific, it's measurable, it's actionable, you're gonna have the right attitude, make those goals realistic and relevant to you with timetable, and be transparent. But this other method, extreme pain, that's what it's going to take for you to break that cycle of being stuck. Extreme pain, where you're saying no pain, no gain mentality. Because everybody, you and I, we have a breaking point that is severe enough to push through that change cycle. For many people, unfortunately, it takes an extreme circumstance to push them to evolve, such as a major financial loss, a job loss, a loss of a loved one, the ending of a relationship, a severe accident, or a nervous breakdown. You see, your higher self knows what you truly want and will lead you to it. If you resist changing long enough, guess what? Something will happen in your life that will put you in a position where you have no choice but to change. I want you to wake up. And you know, which method are you going to use? We went over the sixth area that called stuck in the change cycle. And then I talked about 2 areas that you can use to break the cycle. One is self-honesty, where denying own self to be true. And the other one is that extreme pain, with no pain, no gain mentality. All I need for you to do is wake up. Have you made that decision? It's about me. And I don't want no extreme pain. I don't want a loss of this, a loss of that. They're going to catapult me. I don't want, some people wait until they have a heart attack to get healthy, or they'll wait until, things are just right. You don't have no choice but to change. But today I want to encourage you to say it's about me. And I have made a decision to change, and I wake up and I change. So as you step into this journey, it's a journey to make this decision to change your mindset. See, it's a whole mindset, even with becoming healthy, a mindset about food, by stopping with the dieting, stop saying dieting, and start living your best life. So my goal for you is to live a truly authentic, balanced, healthy life as a person who is growing and becoming the individual that you desire and the person that God has assigned you to be. So today I want you to allow yourself to become healthy. Come on, you got to allow yourself, break that cycle. Allow yourself to be healed in your mind, your body, and your spirit. Also to be sensitive to the strong and gentle and encouraging support of help from others. Yes. See, when you do the first method to break your cycle, that's where you're going to have that self-honesty, where you're saying to thine own self to be true, that I have tried this, I tried that, and I need help. The word of God declares you have not because you ask not, or you're asking in a miss. It's okay to ask for help because help is available. See, I want you to be sensitive, strong, gentle, and encouraging so that you can receive the support, the help that you need from others. Remember, I need help. And I've been telling you about the help, the support that I have from my Gwen, the motivator, who is helping me through the process of the goals that I have self-identified, that I got honest with myself. And I said, Trisha, to thine own self to be true. And I recognized my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and the threats. And I recognized that I needed help. And I reached out to get help. So remember, we all need help, the help of God. And He wants to help you. So as you start, we're still on the 5th day. We have 2 more days in the decision process. As you make that decision to start this transformational mindset, there's an awakening that will take place into what? Your subconsciousness. And so what is going to be shifting, there's a shift taking place from a limiting mindset to a growth mindset. So as we're making this shift, we're shifting you out of that cycle called stuck. Come on, say, I'm not stuck any longer, that I am letting go. I'm not going to resist. And I make a decision. So you got to make a decision. Which methodology are you going to use to help you break out of that change cycle, that vicious cycle? Well, I pray that something I have said tonight will help you to get up, wake up, and get up out of that vicious change cycle. And then I prayed that there was a solution that's offered. Now, if there is saying that, well, there's a greater need, I need help with this. If you need help, whether it's in life, in ministry, whether it's in business, guess what? You can email me at drpat@patriciakjames.com. I am the helpologist, and God has given me a mandate to be a global champions for the kingdom. So I'm here to help you as I help myself, as I become more transparent and authentic with you, to let you know that we all need help. To thine own self be true. In order to break this vicious change cycle that you're in, you just keep on going round and round in that area called stuck. But we want to get out of the stuck cycle, and we want to break it through the methodology of whether you're going to be honest with yourself. Because we're talking about self-care, and to thine own self be true. Or on the other hand, then it could be the extreme pain, where you have the no pain, no gain mentality. I choose my choice, because I say it's about me. I don't know about you, but the methodology that I'm using, it is in the area of self-honesty, where I'm saying to thine own self be true. Well, I just thank each and every one of you, and you can continue to follow us. Please share, tag, and invite, and let people know that it's okay. It's okay. Help is available. You don't have to stay in that situation where you're at. So you always can go and email me at drpat@patriciakjames.com. If you want to know more information, email me and I can send you a link where we can talk about your situation. Now, what I'm doing, I recently wrote the book. You see the book? It's called Help, and that's Healing Every Living Person. It's a guide to helping you develop a better relationship with food in order to create the life, the business, and the ministry that you've been craving. And I know you're saying, well, you're talking a whole lot. We hadn't talked a lot about food, but see, a lot of these different factors affects your whole healthy lifestyle, your whole mindset. So in this book, we go over all of those different challenges. And then in my signature program, we also use a word of God, because you will find that a lot of times you may not have a lot of scriptures, but it's going to be biblically based. Because another component of my program is through our Relentless Believer Prayer Guide, and it's a guide, a 90-day prayer guide to becoming fit by God's design. And it's a lot of other tools, help, resources. So again, if you need information about you, remember it's okay to ask for help. And I'm here to help you, whether it's in your business, whether it's writing a book, whether building your brand, whether it's health and wellness, where we can do Fit and Fat Academy, where you can eat more and you can lose weight, or in ministry, where you're saying that, you want to learn more about prayer and servant leadership style. So you can contact me at DrPat at patriciakjames.com. So I just thank God for each and every one of you. And I want you to know that, yes, help is available. Help is available for you. And that if you would like more information about I Help Me Fellowship, we will be launching I Help Me Fellowship in August officially, where we're building global champions for the kingdom. So if no one told you today that they love you, let me be the first to say God loves you and I love you too. So from my heart to yours, you be empowered to prosper, have good success, and always remember, love never fails. And watch as well as pray. But know now, you need to know this, that help, that's healing every living person. Help is available. And you can email me at DrPat at patriciakjames.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.